Hey there, fellow explorer, and welcome to a special Espirito edition of the Deep Dive.
Espirito.
Yeah, Espirito Deep, you could say.
I like that.
You know, it's Italian for expert, so we're
Ah,
taking our expertise to the next level for you today.
I'm
Okay, so we're diving into some really interesting stuff today, and it's all about Lunar New Year. I mean, I think a lot of people are familiar with at least the name, even if they're not familiar with all of the traditions, but we're going to, really unpack this based on all the awesome information you gave me, really understand it better, like what it means to people who celebrate it, the different traditions around the world, how big of a deal it is globally. We're going to get into all of that.
Yeah, I think a good place for us to start might be that calendar system that sort of underpins everything. The lunisolar calendar. I think that'll help us get our bearings straight from the get-go.
Totally. I mean, most of us are just used to the Gregorian calendar, right? The
Yeah.
one that's like all about the Earth going around the sun. But Lunar New Year is all about the moon and the sun working together. That's why it falls on a different date each year. It can be anywhere from late January to mid-February.
That's right. It's not fixed to a specific date on that solar calendar. It's this whole different way of looking at the year. And another thing that's important to remember is that when we say lunar calendar, it's not just one thing. Different cultures have their own lunar and lunisolar calendars. So while Lunar New Year is huge in a lot of East and Southeast Asian countries, it's not like a single Chinese holiday or anything like that.
Right, exactly. Like I was reading about how the Islamic New Year is also based on a lunar calendar, but it uses different calculations. So it's like different ways of tracking time based on what people find most important.
Absolutely. So getting into the celebrations themselves, I think one thing that really stands out is how central family is.
Oh, totally. It's all about family. That big New Year's Eve dinner, it's like the heart of it all, right? Everyone comes together multiple generations. And it's not just about the food itself, it's about connecting and strengthening those family bonds. Reminds me of other cultures, like how Thanksgiving in the U.S. is all about family and a big meal.
Yeah, food brings people together. And when you look at the way Lunar New Year is celebrated, you can't miss all the red everywhere.
So much red. Red lanterns, red banners, red decorations. What's the meaning behind that? I mean,
Yeah.
it's clearly super important.
Yeah, red is like this symbol of good luck, happiness, and good fortune. You see it everywhere. And it's all about hoping for a good year ahead. It's interesting how colors can have such powerful meaning across different cultures.
And then there's the whole Zodiac thing, right? With those 12 animals, rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, all the way to the pig. How does that work?
So each year in the Lunar New Year cycle is linked to one of these animals. And the animal associated with the year you were born is believed to influence your personality, even your destiny. Like if you're born in the year of the dragon, you might be seen as having certain characteristics.
Oh, so it's like a built-in personality profile based on the year you were born. I love that.
Exactly. It's fun and adds a layer of meaning to individual identities. And then, of course, there's the gift-giving part.
Yeah, those red envelopes. What are they called again?
Pongbo. There are these bright red envelopes filled with money, and they're traditionally given to kids and unmarried adults. It's seen as a way to share good luck and ward off evil spirits. Plus, it's a nice little bonus, especially for the kids.
A little New Year's cash.
Yeah.
And who doesn't love that? Now we have to talk about the fireworks and those lion dances. So much energy. It makes it feel so alive and exciting. What's the meaning behind all that?
It's not just about the spectacle. The loud noises and bright lights are actually supposed to scare away bad luck from the previous year. It's like a symbolic cleansing, making way for good fortune in the new year.
So it's like starting fresh with a huge bang. And speaking of starting fresh, we can't forget about the food. I mean, it's such a huge part of any celebration, but especially Lunar New Year. It seems like everything has a special meaning.
Absolutely. So many dishes have symbolic meanings tied to wishes for the new year, like dumplings, for instance. They're often made to look like old Chinese coins to symbolize wealth and prosperity. And fish, because in some Chinese dialects, the word for fish sounds like the word for abundance.
So you're basically eating your wishes for the year. That's so cool. And one of the things I found so fascinating is how, even though there are all these shared traditions, Lunar New Year is celebrated in unique ways in different countries. Like you mentioned Vietnam and their celebration Tet. What are some of the things that make it different?
Yeah, so with Tet, one of the big things is cleaning the house really thoroughly before the new year starts. It's all about getting rid of any bad luck that might be hanging around. Ancestor veneration is also really important, paying respects to those who have passed away. It's a way to connect with family history. And you know how we were talking about the zodiac animals? Well, in Vietnam, they often replace the rabbit with a cat.
Wait, really? A cat instead of a rabbit? That's so interesting. Little differences like that make it so unique. What about in Korea? How do they celebrate?
In Korea, they celebrate Seollal, and they also have these ancestral rites to honor their ancestors. It's really important part of their tradition, and they often wear traditional clothing called hanbok as part of the New Year's celebrations.
And I know we also have Mongolia, where they celebrate Sar. What's something that's unique to them?
One of the things they do is this really interesting greeting called Zolgok. Younger people will greet their elders by holding their forearms. It's a way of showing respect and strengthening family bonds. It's really cool.
It's amazing how this one event is celebrated in so many different ways.
Yeah, it really shows how diverse and creative cultures can be even when they're celebrating the same basic idea, a new beginning.
And I think it's so cool how Lunar New Year is becoming more and more popular around the world. I mean, with so much globalization and Asian communities growing in so many countries, more people are getting exposed to it and celebrating. It's like a global party.
Yeah, it really is. It's a testament to the power of cultural exchange and how we can learn from and appreciate each other's traditions.
So to kind of wrap things up for you guys listening, I think the main takeaways from our deep dive here are that Lunar New Year is all about new beginnings. It's about looking back at the past year, letting go of anything negative, and welcoming again good things for the future. And at its heart, it's all about family and community coming together.
It really makes you think about the different ways we mark time and the traditions we carry with us. I mean, we're talking about a new year that's tied to the movements of the moon and sun, but the things people celebrate, those are universal things like family, hope, and remembrance.
It really is a beautiful blend of the cosmos and human experience. And I think it leaves us with something to really think about. If seemingly unrelated things like the movement of planets and ancient cultural traditions can be so deeply intertwined, what other connections are we missing in our lives? What other unexpected relationships exist that we haven't even thought about? That's something for you all to ponder. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.